it is me, Miss Kirkley, and I am one of your math teachers here at the 7th and 8th grade academy. I'm one of your favorites, and if I'm not, I will be by the end of these YouTube videos. So what I am working on today is percent increases and decreases and how to solve for totals. So we did in the previous video 2 different methods of how to find percent increases and percent decreases. So when I did the first method, I was working on how to increase and decrease by doing the subtraction or the addition at the beginning. And the second way is I did the addition or subtraction at the end of the problem. So in the corner, I have which way we are going to do this on these problems, and we're going to go through 4 examples, an increase and a decrease for both ways, just so we can get some more practice in and work on this together. So first things first is we're going to do way 1, which is that subtraction or addition at the beginning. So let's read this problem together. Fred the flying fish can fly further than any other fish. He even holds the world record for the longest flight by a fish. Fred's previous record was a flight of 182 minutes. He has increased his flight time by 26%. How long is Fred's flight now? Round to the nearest minute. So there are a couple things we need to do here before we can start our problem. So first things first is we need to eliminate stupid information that we do not need. So this information about Fred being the fastest fish, cool, I don't need it. So I'm going to mark it out. Second, his previous record was 182 minutes. That sounds like an original time for me. And I'm going to underline my unit. It's minutes. It says it increased. So I need to know that it increased because that's going to tell me to add, not subtract. It's going to tell me to add because it's getting bigger. And his flight time is now increased by 26%. So that seems like a percent to me. How long is his flight now? That's my question. And then I know that I need to round to the nearest minute. So I'm going to round nearest minute. That means it needs to be a total minute, no decimals. So I'm going to do this way 1. So originally, his 182 minutes would have been 100%. But now we've increased 26%. So now his total percent is 126%. I'm going to turn that percent into a decimal, the Beyonce method, to the left, to the left. I'm going to get 1.26. Now I'm going to multiply it by my total, 182. I am going to multiply this in my phone. So I have 1.26 times 182, and that's going to give me 229.32. Now, if I'm rounding to the nearest minute, I'm going to look right next to that whole number. That's 5 or below, so it doesn't round up. It'll stay down, 229. Good. Let's go to the next one. Also, sorry if you hear my dog in the background. She loves her squeaky toys, and that's just kind of how we're going. So let's do another increase with way 2. So this one says, Felix spends every day fishing. Sometimes he even spends every night fishing. All he wants to do is catch the elusive 4-finned, 4-eyed, feather-flying fish. Last weekend, Felix spent 654 minutes fishing. This week, he is going to increase his time spent fishing by 42%. How many minutes will Felix spend fishing this week? Round to the nearest minute. So first thing I'm going to do is eliminate stupid information that I do not need in order to solve this problem. That's awesome that he wants to catch this super crazy fish. I don't care though. That doesn't help me solve it. I see that there are 654 minutes, so I'm going to circle that. That sounds like an original. I'm going to look and see that it says increase. That's important for me to know, so I know to add because it's getting bigger. And it's by 42%. That sounds like a percent to me that I might need to know. And it's asking me to round to the nearest minute. Here is my question. Good. So first thing I'm going to do in way 2 is I'm going to already multiply that percent by my original. But I can't do that without the percent being a decimal. So I'm going to go to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. And I'm going to get 0.42 times 654 minutes. So when I go and I do that in my calculator, 0.42 times 654, I get 274.68. Is this my new total? No, because I haven't added it just yet to my original time. Remember, I'm adding because it says increase. So I'm going to do this plus my original time, which is 654. So now my new total is 928 minutes, 0.68. Remember, it said to round to the nearest minute. So I'm going to look here because that's what's next to minute. And it's above 5, so I'm going to round up, 929. Awesome. Let's go on to decreases. So in this new problem, I have times are tough for Peter the Penguin, and his Hug a Penguin business has been on the decline. Last year, Peter and the Penguin made $570 from selling hugs. If he experienced a 20% decrease in sales, how much did he make this year? So I'm really sad for Peter the Penguin, although he looked kind of creepy, so I don't really care that much. But I'm going to eliminate all the information. So sucks to suck, Peter the Penguin, but I don't really care that your business is declining. I just need my information to solve a math problem. So last year, Peter made $570. That sounds like an original total to me. I see 20%. That seems like the percent I'm going by. I see decrease. That's important for me to know because now I'm going to subtract. And how much did he make at the end? My corner says I'm going to try to do it way 2. So first things first is I need to do 20% times $570 because that's my original. I can't multiply 20% times 570 because that's not the same type of number. So I need to turn a percent into a decimal. So I'm going to listen to Miss Beyonce to the left, and I'm going to get 0.2 times 570. So I'm going to do that in my calculator right now. 0.2 times 570. And that's going to give me 114. Is that my new total? No, because I haven't added or subtracted yet. And I have to do that regardless of what way I do it. So I'm going to do that. $570, 114. Am I going to add or subtract? If you said subtract, you're right, because we're decreasing. So that means we're getting smaller. So we're subtracting. So I'm going to do in my calculator 570 minus 114. And that gives me 456 doll hairs. What answer is that? B. Let's do a different problem. So here's our new problem. Let's read it together. I don't want to learn to water ski, Wayne screamed as he was pulled behind a boat. His family didn't care how many times it took. They were going to make him learn to water ski. The first day of learning to water ski, Wayne fell down 732 times. The second day, he decreased his number of falls by 43%. How many times did Wayne fall down on the second day? Round to the nearest whole number. So it says I'm going to do this way 1. So the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to go through the problem first, and then remember I'm going to add or subtract at the beginning. So I know that Wayne doesn't want to learn how to water ski. That's not very important to me, though, as a mathematician, so I'm going to get rid of that. The first day of learning to water ski, he fell down 732 times. Seems like an original total to me. The decrease, that's important to me because that's going to tell me to add or subtract by 43%. How many times did he fall on the second day? That's my question. Round to the nearest whole number. That's also important to me. So remember, when I do the second way, I'm going to do the addition or the subtraction at the beginning on the first way. So originally, the 100% was there, and that was the 732. but he decreased. Is decreased adding or subtracting? If you said subtracting, that's right, because we're getting smaller. So I'm going to subtract, and it's going to be by 43%. I can subtract percents from percents. So 100 minus 43 is going to give me 57%. Now I need to multiply, but I can't do that when these are two different types of numbers. So I need to turn that into a decimal first. So 57% as a decimal, as Miss Beyonce will tell you, to the left, I get 0.57. So now I can multiply this decimal by this normal number. So now I'm going to do 0.57 times 732. So when I do that in my calculator, 0.57 times 732, I get 417.24. I'm going to round it. This is 5 or below, so this is going to stay the same. So it's 417 times. He fell down. Good. Now we're going to try to do two problems on our own, and I'm going to help solve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a problem in front of you. I'm going to help you eliminate some fluff, and then you're going to try to do it on your own. So let's do it. All right, so here's another problem. Let's read it together. Carl, the cannonballer, can make the biggest splashes of anyone at the local swimming pool. His splashes are legend, wait for it, dairy. Sorry, y'all. Carl used to be able to splash 40 people with one cannonball, but now he has increased the number of people he can splash by 45%. What is the new number of people Carl can splash? So I'm sorry, Carl, but I don't really care about all this information. That's not important to me. I see 40 people. That seems like an original. We see 45%. That's pretty good. What is the new number of people Carl can splash? So that's important to me. So I don't care which way you do it. You can do it way 1 or way 2. But I want you to solve. How many people can Carl splash? And we'll go through it both ways. So I want you to pause the video here. You heard me. Pause the video here and try to solve this problem on your own. Pause the video here. Try to solve this problem on your own. We'll come back. All right, so let's go ahead and solve this together. We're going to do way 1 first, and then we'll do way 2 second. So I'm going to split my paper in half up here, and we're going to do our work up here. If you're not showing your work, you're doing it wrong. So make sure you're showing your work. So it looks like my total was 40 people. Cool. And it increased by 45%. So again, I got 100 increased. Am I adding or subtracting? I'm adding because it's getting bigger. So I'm adding 145 together because those are the percentages. And that gives me 145%. Can I multiply 145 times 40? Nay, nay. These are not the same type of numbers. So I need to turn this into a decimal. Like Miss Beyonce said, to the left, I get 1.45. And now I'm going to multiply that by my original, which was 40. So when I do that in my calculator, I do 1.45 times 40. I get 58. So now he can splash 58 people. Let's try it the second way, just to make sure you set up your work correct. So, again, I'm going to do the multiplication first, turn the percent to a decimal, do the multiplication, and then I'll add at the end. So, 45% as a decimal. We're going to go to the left. Thank you, Miss Beyonce. 0.45. Now I can multiply 40 and 0.5. So 0.45 times 40. I'm going to do that in my calculator. 0.45 times 40. That's going to give me 18. Is this my new total? Nay, nay, because I've increased. So now I need to do the addition. So I'm doing my original plus the change, which is 18. And that's going to give me 58. Either way, I'm still getting 58. It just matters when you want to do that addition or subtraction. It doesn't matter anywhere else. So the answer is B. Let's do one more problem together, but as a decrease. All right, here's our new problem, but let's go ahead and read it together, get rid of the fluff, and then I'm going to give you time to do this on your own. So, Heather the Hopscotcher has been training for the Hopscotch Hall of Fame hoopla. It's a big party. Last week, Heather hopscotched for 412 minutes. This week, she's taken a break and is going to decrease her training time by 28%. How many minutes will Heather spend hopscotching this week? Round to the nearest minute. So, I'm so proud of Heather for wanting to go to this thing, but I don't care. Last week, Heather hopscotched for 412 minutes. That matters to me. That sounds like an original. This week, she is taking a break and is going to decrease, that's important to me, her training time by 28%. That's important to me. How many minutes will Heather spend hopscotching this week? That's important to me. Round to the nearest minute. That's important to me. So what I want you to do is to do this on your own. Pause the video here again. Pause the video here again and solve this problem and then unpause when you're ready. I told you to pause. Pause this video. It's not going to help you unless you do the work. Thank you. All right, so we're going to continue now that you've come back and you solved this problem like the wonderful mathematicians you are. Again, we're going to do way 1 and way 2, just so you have it in your hands, and whichever way you feel more comfortable doing it, you can. Again, I don't care which way you do it. I just care that you are getting your arithmetic correct. And if you don't know what arithmetic is, it's literally just the adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, the basic math. So we're going to start again. Let's start with way 1, where we do the adding or subtracting first. So we are going to read this problem again, where we have 412 minutes. It's a decrease of 28%. So that 100% of 412 minutes is decreasing. So is that adding or subtracting? If you said subtracting, that's correct. It's getting smaller by 28%. When I do 100 minus 28, I'm going to get 72%. Can I multiply 72 by 412? Nay, nay. These are not the same type of numbers, so I need to turn this into a decimal. I'm going to listen to Miss Yonsei, and I'm going to go to the left, so 0.72. Now I'm going to do my multiplication. So 0.72 times 412. And I'm going to leave this set up so that way we can do the other side. So again, let's set up our problem on this side. So we know that we have 412 minutes and we want to multiply that by 28%. I can't just multiply 412 by 28 because nay, they are not the same type of number. So really, I'm doing 412 times, this is a decimal. I listen to Miss Yonsei to the left, and I get 0.28 as my decimal. So I'm going to multiply this, and that would give me similar totals. So 412 times 0.28 gives me 115 times, or 0.36. Is this my new total? Nay, because I haven't done the addition or subtraction yet. This would give me my direct total. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this out. I have 0.72 times 412. I get 296.64. Again, this was a decrease, so here I have to subtract. So 412 minus 115.36. 115.36. And that's going to also give me 296.64. Is that my answer, though? No, because it told me to round. So now I need to look at the decimal. That's right after the whole number because it's asking me to round to the whole number. This is 5 or above, so it goes up by 1. So it's 297. Again, this is 5 or above, so it goes up a number. So that is 297. So either way, I have 297 what? Minutes. We need to make sure we're including our unit. And that is answer B. If you need any more help with this, make sure that you are reaching out to your teacher and getting that help that you need. But these are two really easy ways to do percent increases and decreases. Again, if we were continuously decreasing by 28%, we would have a graph that is showing us a straight line coming from the origin. So these are also considered proportional graphs. This is also considered unit rate. This is also considered algebra. So know that, because that's why we talk about it towards the end. But get your problems in, and if you need any other help, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much. I hope you appreciated this lesson. Have a good day.